So when the LA Kings started to build up on their fan base in the mid 1970s, after Dion shifted over from Detroit, this was one player that became a fan favorite because he was the crazy man, as we call him, because he had a crazy look. He was crazy on the ice. He had a real good offensive style, and basically became one of the key members of that LA team that got into the playoffs to have some success in the decade. Now, today we're going to talk about the case of Don Kozak. Now, Donald Crazy Kozak, born February 2nd, 1952 in Saskatchewan, was 5'1", 190. But unlike Gene Carr, he used the most of his skills in the NHL, and he kind of met the requirements at that second and third line for LA. Now, during his career, he not only played for the Kings, but he also skated with the Canucks, as well as several minor league teams. Now, he came to major prominence in the late 1960s with the Saskatoon Blades of the WCHL. His first two seasons there were mediocre, 5 to 9 goals a season, but by 1970 with Swift Current, his offensive prowess started to pick up. He had 40 goals in 1970. Now, with the historic Edmonton Oil Kings in 71-72, he put in 115 goals in the regular season in 2 years, almost goal a game pace, and an additional 16 goals in the playoffs. Now, this led him to being drafted 20th overall in the 72 draft. Now, 72-73, the Kings again were rebuilding. He scored 14 goals that year, but his really big influence came in the next 4 seasons, where he averaged about 20 goals a season and allowed LA to get to playoffs for 4 straight years. Now, the big LA run in the playoffs came in 77, where he scored 4 goals in 9 games for the squad. But by 1978, his skills were starting to diminish. He found himself in Vancouver in 79, but unfortunately his scoring prowess kind of fell on the wayside. He started playing in the minors. He was with Tulsa and Dallas in 79 with 17 goals in 36 games. He ended up with the Cincinnati Stingers, a renamed hash from the old WHA squad, and he wrapped up his career with the Binghamton Whalers in 81. He went to Europe to play in the German league, scored 19 goals in 21 games. Now, Kozak, unlike Gene Carr and other underachievers with LA, I think he was one of the most underrated scorers of his generation. Good playmaker as well. 437 games, 96 goals, 182 points, and 7 goals in 29 playoff games. Now, I think LA, not say didn't use him enough, but I look at that 76 season where he scored 20 goals in 62 games. If he would had some better line mates, maybe he could have scored 30 goals. But that was the Kings team of the time. You would have a multitude of 20 to 30 goal prospects, and Kozak was basically, when you least expected, he would score. And I think about the success of the Kings in the early 1980s, the old out to those 4 straight years between 74 and 77, when Dion arrived and Maloney and a few others. They kind of put West Coast hockey back on the map. But the only problem with Kozak, because of the late night games, he would sometimes play against Vancouver, the late night game on Saturday, but he would get no press east of Winnipeg, as we say. But, a good Saskatoon boy. I think down the road, if there was ever a WCHL full Hall of Fame, he should be in there because he brought a lot of respect to the many graduates of the Oil Kings in the early 70s. And like I said, the statistics are there, ladies and gentlemen. Almost 250 combined points in 71 and 72. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Keep your stick in the ice. Bye.